Ooh, that looks tasty. Folks, today the Hungry Gamer is back with another game review, and today we are talking about Marvel Dice Throne, designed by Nate Chatelier, Manny Tremblay, and Gavin Brown, and published by The Yop and Roxley Games. And I do apologize for mispronouncing any of those names. Now, what Marvel Dice Throne is it is a Marvel-themed variant of Dice Throne, the dice-chucking Yahtzee-style beat-em-up game that made $1 bazillion. And Marvel Dice Throne is the same thing, but Marvel characters. And as near as I can tell, because they come with some standees, you can actually also use this in the Dice Throne Adventures, as near as I can tell. But, of course, don't quote me on that because I don't know that for sure. Now, Dice Throne itself is a very simple game. In theory, meant for a head-to-head game, but you can also play, I believe, up to 6 players and have teams of 3 or a free-for-all or however it is that you want to do it. But for me, I played this head-to-head. And before I go any further, please make sure you turn on your Klingon subtitles, because if I make any mistakes, that's where you'll find the corrections. Now, I also want to point out that the game itself comes with 4 characters, and each one actually comes in a very swanky, fancy little game trays box, like this right here. And you can also get 2 standalone expansions. Each one has 2 different characters in it as well, so there is a total of 8 available. And what's going to be happening in the game is you're going to simply go back and forth, rolling your dice and activating your abilities until one player has been reduced to 0 health. And I should also point out that each character is pretty much completely asymmetric. While they all do have the same basic styles of things you have to do, get runs, get certain combinations of dice symbols, they all do very, very different things, and they all have different effects that they're able to put onto either themselves or the other players. Each one, as I said, being completely different and having their own unique set of dice. Now, what's going to happen is, on your turn, the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to do your upkeep phase, which is if you have any effects ongoing at the time from a previous turn, you'll take care of those immediately. Then you're going to gain 1 combat point, nice and simple, and then you're going to draw 1 card. And in your hand, you're going to have a bunch of these cards that do a whole variety of different things. And there'll be some, and you'll see they have their own cost, and the different colors more or less relate to when it is that you're going to play them. You're going to be playing the orange cards pretty much during offensive phases, though, as I said, it tells you on there when you're going to use them. The blue cards you're going to play before you roll your own dice, before you do things. They're going to be various kinds of upgrades that you're going to get. They're going to be bonuses. They're going to be ways that you can upgrade the abilities you have on your board, so you simply can improve them, make them a little bit stronger. So right here, I could upgrade that, and now it's a little bit better. And so on and so on. Each character has their own deck that is somewhat unique to them, though a lot of the cards do appear in all the different decks, especially when you're talking about cards that do dice mitigation and things like that. Then you're going to go into your roll phase, in which case you're going to roll all of your dice. And Yahtzee style, you're going to get to do a total of 3 rolls, keeping whatever it is that you want. So in this case, maybe I decide that I like all of these right here, and I'm going to try to get this ability over there. So I'm going to keep those 3. I'm going to re-roll these 2. Oh, and just like that, I actually got all of these, so I would be able to activate this ability over here and deal 8 damage to my opponent. Now, my opponent would then get to do a defensive roll. And this is a very simple ability. It's simply, boom, it does damage. And each player has their own unique defensive ability, and they get to do different things. So, for example, Scarlet Witch here gets to roll all 5 of her dice, and depending on what she rolls, she gets different things. And for her, she might deal some damage, she might activate any of her various abilities that will manipulate dice or protect her or whatever it may be. Other characters have different things that might just stop the damage and might do damage back, and so on and so on. Then you'd have the opportunity to, again, play any more cards as upgrades, and then it would be the next player's turn. Now, the key here, though, is as you're playing, you're trying to figure out what it is that you are trying to go for. Maybe I want to go for the spellcraft, and for that I need a small straight. Well, with this roll here, I got a 1, I got my 1, I got my 2, nothing else. So maybe I'm going to chase that. And then so my second one, I roll again, and I got my 4, and I got a 5. So no matter what, I need a 3, so I'll just re-roll these 2 and see if I get lucky. And just like that, I did. I got my small straight. But let's say I didn't get that, somehow I wound up with a 6 and a 6. Well, I could still always go back over here and activate that, or activate maybe this down here if I had it, and so on. You can kind of see how that goes. You are probably targeting something, but if and when you don't get it, you're going to try to react to make do with what it is that you have. Also, everybody has an ultimate ability down here, which pretty much is if you roll all 6s, you get to activate it. Though, of course, people tend to save cards to do anything they can to stop that ultimate ability from going off. And you're going to go back and forth until there's only one player left. And as I said, there are different variants if you're playing in teams and so on. But that's pretty much how this game works. So what do I like about this game? It is fun. Done. Review over. Not really. But it's just a dice chucking good time. You're chucking some dice, you're beating each other up, and that's it. Like that's it. It's just that simple. But it's very satisfying. Each of the different characters you play, it takes you 9 seconds to figure out what you're doing. You got to read, okay, they have these 3 different tokens they can give out. What do they do? Okay, how do I get them? Okay, done, go. And that's it. It's just a satisfying little beat-em-up game, and it works really well. The components are really nice. Everything about it's great. I do feel like the way the different boards play and how you use their dice, it does feel pretty darn thematic and connected to the different characters from the Marvel Universe. And so I certainly appreciate that. And I like that it's a really fast game. I mean, it's just Yahtzee style, beat 'em up, go at it. Yeah, that's it. Like, I hate to make it that fast, but that's it. It's fun. That's what you're looking for. Beer and pretzels, beat 'em up, go, done. So what are my quibbles with the game? Well, also that. It's just a beat 'em up, chuck some dice, fight, and you're done. There's nothing else to it. It's not even like Dice Throne Adventures where you can go into the long adventuring thing. Though I guess in theory you could take these and use them in Dice Throne Adventure. I don't know why you couldn't, but don't quote me on that. That's all the game is. It's a Yahtzee style mechanic with some card play, and that's what you're doing. And that's it. You're not going out being superheroes at all. You're literally beating each other up. And it's heroes beating up heroes for the most part. Though Scarlet Witch, you can argue what she is, right? And so there's not a ton of depth to this game. And also, I don't think that's what this game is meant to be. I think it does exactly what it's supposed to do, and it does that very, very well. There's a reason there are a bazillion Dice Throne characters out there, and these fit right in. I played a lot of the original Dice Throne, and I feel like these fit the mold as well. They're all unique. They play differently, and I think that's great. But that's got to be what you're looking for, right? So if you're not looking for a head-to-head beat-em-up fight, then this isn't for you. And yeah, you can play multiple players, but it's still the same thing. It's just a beat-em-up. And you're chucking dice, and you're hoping you can use the dice how you want. It's not a ton of strategy to it, because you're purely at the whim of the dice. But there you have it. That is Marvel Dice Throne. If you like Marvel and you like Yahtzee-style mechanics and you want to beat each other up, then this is a great one to get. It's not that expensive. It's easy to find. Go for it. As always, if I made any mistakes in the rules overview, please let me know in the comments with a timestamp. I'll get that into the Klingon subtitles. If you found this video useful, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.